Hello students, how are you all? I am Mr. Prithviraj. As you all know, I am a 8th class physics teacher. Yesterday we have completed till our physical properties of metal and non-metal. We have compared both of them. Okay. Today we will discuss all about chemical properties of metal and non-metal. Sometimes physical properties cannot differentiate which was exactly metal and what is the properties of non-metal. So sometimes we need to go through their to know the perfect mechanism. We need to follow the chemical process, right? Yes, we need to go through the chemical properties. We need to analyze the chemical properties in order to get the exact difference between a metal and non-metal. Is that clear? To do that, we will react metals and non-metals with different kind of substances, and from there we will find out what exactly are the products of metal and non-metal. Either metals react, either non-metals will react. What exactly is the difference between them? These are all things we will discuss in this particular concept. First thing is, both metals and non-metals reacting with oxygen. Let us understand how this thing is happening. So we are dealing with chemical properties. We are dealing with chemical properties. In chemical properties, what we will do? We will first react metal and non-metal with oxygen. So I write here. Reaction of metal and non-metal with oxygen. Simply we will burn. See, reaction with oxygen means burning. Okay, if we can burn things, then that will be reacting with oxygen, because burning is happening in the presence of oxygen, right? So here we will take two things. First we will take magnesium ribbon. We will take magnesium ribbon and a spoon of sulfur. We will burn both of them. First we will burn magnesium ribbon. Okay, this is now short form Mg, magnesium ribbon. After burning, we will collect the ash. Now we have collected magnesium ribbons ash. Now we will burn sulfur. While burning sulfur, what we need to do? Because after burning, sulfur will directly turn into gas. So we need to collect that gas by using a gas jar. Okay, and soon in that we will put little bit of water. Okay, we will put in little bit of water and we will mix it in that gas only. The water will change its color. Now two things we got. First one we got is sulfur's gas along with water. Then we got magnesium ribbons ash in the form of solid, and we will mix water also here also. Here after burning, sulfur gas plus water. Here what? Magnesium oxide, that is magnesium gas plus water. Here what we will get? Here the magnesium ribbons ash along with water, when we will see that it is turning a blue litmus paper to red. Sorry, a red litmus paper to blue. It is turning red litmus paper to blue. And it is doing exact opposite. It is turning a blue litmus paper to red. So here we can conclude that whenever a non-metal reacts with oxygen, after burning, it will act as an acidic substance. Non-metallic oxides. Here, non-metallic oxides means O2s. I'll write oxides only. Non-metal oxides, Nm means non-metal, okay? Non-metal oxides are acidic in nature, whereas metallic oxides are basic in nature. This is what you need to understand from this particular topic. Okay, so first thing we have completed that always metals will react with oxygen, and the oxides which we will get Those are basic, whereas non-metals will react with oxygen, and the oxides which we will get are acidic in nature. Right? Next, rusting of metals. You may have heard rusting, right? You may have heard rusting. In 7th class, you people have read carefully about rusting. Thoroughly have read about rusting. In rusting, what will happen? Iron slowly degrades, right? The iron will slowly degrades its entire property. So, only iron or some elements are there those who are reacting. Yes, there are a lot of elements those who are reacting like zinc, iron, aluminium. They all will be rusting. How this rusting is happening? Because they are reacting with air. They are reacting with air. After reacting with air, what will happen? A dull appearance will be over there. Means if there is an iron piece, that iron piece will be dull on the above side, so that further oxidation stops. Means inside the iron will be okay. The same thing goes with every element. But gold and platinum are some elements, they do not react. So I can write here aluminium, magnesium and iron, that is Fe. Symbol of iron is Fe. Reacts with air. Reacts with air and forms oxide. Forms oxides. Whereas gold, platinum, the sort from Pt, okay, they do not react with air. They do not react with air. Here we spoke about metals only. Means reaction of metals with air. What about non-metals? Non-metals totally do not react with air. Okay? Non-metals will not gonna react with air in normal conditions. There are some special conditions which you don't have to know. Okay, but in normal conditions they won't react. Next, reaction with water. Now let us understand how metals and non-metals are reacting with water. Okay. To do this experiment, we need sodium metal. We need 500 ml of water. Okay. We need little bit of stuff which are given in your book. Okay. You can go through that, but I tell you what exactly the reaction is. See, whenever a metal reacts with water, hydrogen gas is released. H2 gas is released. Whenever metal reacts with water, hydrogen gas will be released. This is H2. Okay, H2 gas will be released. Is that clear? And the thing which is produced. Now what exactly is formed? Metallic hydroxide is formed. Okay, and that product, after releasing of hydrogen, the product which you will get, okay, that will be basic in nature. That will be basic in nature. What about non-metals? Non-metals will not going to react with water in normal conditions. Okay, so generally they do not react with water. It is written clearly. Take samples given in the table number 8. See, table number 8, number of samples are given. Here iron given, zinc given, copper, sulfur, aluminium, carbon, magnesium, iodine, lot of stuffs are given, and they are saying that please add it with acid. Okay, reaction you need to do. Add 5 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid to each of the test tubes with the help of dropper. Observe the reaction. If you find reaction, heat the test tube gently. If still there is a C reaction, add 5 drops of concentrated hydrochloric acid. Now bring a burner matchstick near the mouth of the test tube and observe what happens and record your observation. See, now let us understand what will happen if metals react with acids. If metals and non-metals are reacting with acids, what will happen? See, if metals reacts with acids, plus means reacts with acids, then what will be formed? They will form metallic salt. They will form a metallic salt, and they will release hydrogen gas. They will release which gas? They will release hydrogen gas. Non-metals, yes. Most non-metals do not react, but non-metals will also do the same. They will form non-metallic salt and they will also release hydrogen gas. Okay. Here you can go through this particular experiment. You found that some metals react with diluted hydrochloric acid, liberating hydrogen, but non-metals usually do not react with acids. Usually non-metals do not react. At some cases, in your higher classes you will read that at some places non-metals also do react. Okay. So till now we have completed reaction of metal and non-metal with oxygen, reaction of metal and non-metal with normal air, reaction of metal and non-metal along with water, and reaction of metal and non-metal with acids. Okay. Now reactivity of metal. Which metal is more reactive, which metal is less reactive? Let us understand that. To understand that, we need to do some experiment. Here six experiments are given. This is one beaker. This is another beaker. Here a lot of beakers have been taken. Okay. In that beaker, what they are saying? Suppose A and B are there, then C and D are there, E and F are there. They said that take 5 beakers, take 5 beakers and label them A, B, C, D, E, and 50 ml of water in each beaker, and dissolve part full of copper sulfate solution beaker A and B, dissolve a part full of zinc sulfate in C and D, and iron sulfate in beaker E and F. Sorry, you need to take 6. Okay, in book it is written wrong, but you need to take 6 because the diagram is saying that came from. We have taken beakers. After taking beakers, what we will do? This is E and F. According to your book says, we will combine what? We will take 50 ml of water everywhere. Water content is how much? 50 ml. In every case, water content is 50 ml. Okay. And after 50 ml of water, what we will do? Here is saying that part full of copper sulfate in beaker A and B. A, B, you will mix what? Copper sulfate. Symbol of copper sulfate is CuSO4. Okay, we will combine 50 part full of copper sulfate in A and B, and we will combine part full of zinc sulfate in beaker C and D. So what we have done, we have just combined part full of zinc sulfate in C and D, a spoon. Okay, we will combine zinc sulfate in both of the cases, and last we will put iron sulfate. Okay, there we will put iron sulfate. So after combining these all things, they will change their color. Now what they are saying? Place zinc granules in A and E. He is saying that you need to place zinc granules. That means you will take zinc and you will place zinc here in A and you will place zinc here in E. Okay, see this clearly. What we will do? We need to put zinc in A and E. And we will place iron nails in B and D. Iron nails in B and D. Okay. And now we will take copper turnings in beaker C and F. You will take small copper granules or copper turnings in group C and F. Understand it clearly. I have written here copper sulfate, here copper sulfate, here zinc sulfate, here zinc sulfate, here iron sulfate, here iron sulfate. But what we have done? Here we have combined zinc and ferrous where copper was present here. Here we have combined copper and ferrous where zinc was present here. Here we have combined zinc and copper when iron sulfate was already there. Now we need to observe the changes which is happening. Here you will see the blue color of copper sulfate disappears and powdery red mass of copper A is deposited at the bottom of beaker A. At first this solution was blue. At first this solution was blue. Now there is no color. Now no color. A powdery mass is deposited here. A powdery mass deposited below. Here color changed. Here the entire color changed. Here nothing is happening. Here nothing is happening. Then also notice that the beaker B red copper is found at the bottom of the beaker and one of the nail leaving light green iron sulfate solution. In beaker B what happened? Here also the solution was blue, but the blue color turned into what? Green color, light green. Means the iron nail which we have placed now, that is turning into light green color and the red color mass is deposited below. That means what happened I will tell you. And when you go for a group, means the next one, the next beakers, what exactly is happening? Here the reason I will tell you, then I will go for the other part. Here you see, zinc was there, copper was there. Here copper already was there, ferrous reacted. Copper sulfate was there, no? When iron reacted, what it will do? It will keep copper and ferrous will be added. Here at first it was copper solution same. Now zinc will come. It will react with copper. It will react with copper sulfate. It will keep copper and it will make zinc sulfate here. Here zinc sulfate. Here iron sulfate done. And copper has been removed. From here we can conclude that both iron and zinc are more reactive than that of copper. So here you need to understand iron and copper, they both are more reactive. Iron and zinc are more reactive than that of copper. Let me write it shortly. Here we will write. First we will write what? Whatever. Suppose I wrote zinc, I wrote iron, then I wrote copper. Here copper sulfate was there before. But this sulfate now is with ferrous. And after that this sulfate with zinc. Here copper has been kicked out in both the cases. Why? Because the more reactive metal will remove the less reactive metals from their compound. The more reactive metals will remove the less reactive metals from their compound. And here it is written that copper is unable to displace zinc from zinc sulfate. Yes, here zinc sulfate is there, but copper cannot displace. Iron also cannot displace here zinc sulfate. Because copper and iron both are less reactive than that of zinc. Copper and iron both are less reactive than that of zinc. The color will be untouched. It is same. When we put both of them, they will be left and undissolved. No color change is happening. In both C and D, no change. Because zinc is more reactive than both of them. But in third case, what will happen? If you put zinc with iron nails, you will see the color changes of E. So from here it is concluded that zinc can replace ferrous. So zinc is more reactive than that of ferrous, and again copper cannot. So from here it is concluded that zinc is most reactive, iron is less, and your copper is least in these three cases. So here you can conclude that a more reactive metal will displace the less reactive metal from its compound. Uses of non-metal. Sulfur is used in making fireworks. Sulfur is a non-metal. It is used to make bombs. In Diwali we have enjoyed a lot, right? Crackers, gunpowder, matchsticks, antiseptic ointments. It is found in onion, garlic, egg, hair and nails also you can find sulfur. Means all kind of non-metals. And activated carbon is used as decolorizing agent also in water purification system. Activated charcoal is there, it is also used in decolorization of different substances as well as it purifies the water. Iodine is used as medical purpose. Tincture iodine, whenever there is a cut and something will happen, madam used to put those things. So this is called as your tincture iodine, which is used for medical purpose. And uses of metals, see metals are used everywhere. Metals are used to make big bridges, metal are used to make for fans, electrical appliances, metal used to make for benches. Machines, cars, aeroplanes, everything is used. Everything. And automobiles, satellites, instruments made by your electrical objects, everything, mobile phones, in every places metals are used. So this is what your entire chapter we have completed. I hope you all will go through well. If any doubt arises, please consult with our other teacher. Okay. So on the note of that, let us meet again. Bye bye.